speaking of powerful, this is a banger of a match. New York Wrecking Crew versus Jesters, both coming in 3-0.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Good. Oh,
Jesters going to get a penalty. They're going to lose 3 bodies immediately. Actually, was it a penalty? The ref didn't actually throw the flag.
He had it in his hand and then did the little penalty
the
arm
pump.
motions. Yeah, he pumped his arms. Wrecking Crew in great positions, especially for dropping 3, and now 4 of the Jesters' bodies. Unfortunate start for Jesters, but Wrecking Crew is great, and so are Jesters, so this should be a really, really good match.
Big match. So last Jester player left alive in the Dorito corner. Yeah, they're now figuring it out for the Wrecking Crew. There's not much hope winning a 4-on-1. Oh, he gets killed, though.
Good.
All right,
so,
that's it.
Yep, that's it. Nice quick point on this hot morning.
It is going to get much, much hotter. Hey, on behalf of paintball community in general, I'm sorry the WNXL has to play in the afternoon today.
Listen, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to acknowledge it. It's going to be cold when we play. That's all I'm training my mind to think. It's going to be nice and cold and breezy. If you say it's hot, your body feels hot.
Okay. Okay. I don't
manipulate your mind, Matt. Manipulate your mind.
I don't know enough about biology to argue that one. I guess I have to accept that logic.
Alrighty, so now back on the field. Well, not back on the field, but coming onto the field now is PMob and Philly Corrupt.
PMob coming in with a win, an overall first place at Atlantic City, so they've got a lot of momentum behind them. They're also coming in today 2-0. They're in at Philly Corrupt coming in 1-1. So Philly Corrupt got a lot on their plate to handle for this one. I'll take a moment to thank one of our sponsors. That is Ballsack. I'll wait for the giggling to stop. That is a pod filling system. They have actually a few different ones now. If you're here, go check out their booth. They actually have some new product. It's pretty cool. Attachments that you can put directly on your normal pod filler, and the sack that you can hang off a tent. All right, PMob on the left in the green jerseys, as is their wont. First kill goes to them. No, first kill goes both ways.
And PMob gets a minor.
And a penalty, so 3 PMob players walking off at the same time. Oof.
Nice shots up the gut for Philly Corrupt.
I think it's a pack hit that just cost PMob a penalty.
Yeah, that short shot to the can has been deadly all day yesterday. We had some troubles with that. Philly Corrupt just needs to identify, and they just killed the can.
Yeah,
identify that they're in a 4-on-1 situation.
That leaves just that mini temple for PMob. Yeah. That'll do.
Philly Corrupt a little excited that they won that one. I would be too, playing PMob. They're a great, great team. Philly Corrupt is a great team as well.
So, and I do not want to jinx PMob because they are friends of mine. They're from the New England area. This is a bit of a prove-it tournament because they had a really, really ugly first tournament down in Tampa Bay.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing went their way, and then they came roaring back at Atlantic City and took first place overall. So they've got to keep the momentum going and push forward. Now, so far, they're 2-0 on the weekend, so they're doing well.
That's great. I love to see teams have not so good tournament and then come back and then show why they should be in this division, why they should be make it Sundays. All right, so Wrecking Crew on your right and Jesters on your left. See if it could be another quick point.
All right, Jesters tripled up at home. Very conservative breakout. There's a double move. It almost looks like they both intended to go to the same bunker. I think that was a little bit of an oopsie there, but they get away with it.
Yep, so we have a 5-on-5 breakout. Jesters in really great positions. They both have a body in the snake, Wrecking Crew and Jesters. Wrecking Crew did just drop a body up the center.
Bispo getting checked, called clean in the snake for Jesters.
Little backfill for Wrecking Crew.
So far, a much better game for Jesters in their first point.
So if you notice, Jesters kind of have all of their guns. Nope, their wedge just switched. I was going to say they had all their guns looking snake way, and just almost one gun just looking Dorito way. This field is definitely, you gotta cover your zones. It's cross field.
It is a field that you can defend, even down bodies. You can make it very difficult for the other team to close it out on you.
Oh, yes.
We've seen a lot of closeout situations kind of fall apart and actually swing the other way. You've got to be really tight about it.
Little battle from Snake Dorito to Snake Dorito through the center here.
Yeah, doing the webcast here, you're going to hear a lot of mirror bunkering calls. So you're right. Like Snake Dorito shooting at Snake Dorito makes you think they're looking down the tape. They're looking directly across the field, a diagonal.
Yes, I love these kinds of layouts because your calls don't change. Like,
yeah,
your Snake is always on your left. Doritos are always on the right. Nice move up into the center wedge for Jesters. That is a very powerful bunker. Also could be a very deadly bunker as well, but...
Yeah, that middle brick has seen the most play of any bunker, besides home, I suppose, on this entire field. It's a relatively easy take, even at the beginning of the game or mid-game. Bispo moves up to his wedge. Now looking cross.
Trying to pick off this Wrecking Crew player at the W.
Welcome to the splash zone, Bella.
Oh, yeah. I just experienced
yeah,
that.
Part of the joy of webcasting.
Oh, yeah. Wrecking Crew did drop another body. I'm not sure from where.
All right, Jester's starting to tighten the noose on this one. Bodies dropping. Home takes a walk for Wrecking Crew.
I'd say Jester's definitely figured out what Wrecking Crew was doing and changed up what they're doing.
So mini wall for Wrecking Crew trying to hold on. He's going to catch probably a free kill here. No, Bispo gets his head. Yeah, he does get the kill, but he's going to trade it for his life. All right, I think Bispo's going to be the man to hit the buzzer.
Slowly.
It's very slow. Yeah, he's in no hurry.
It's hot.
He's got one pod left. That was kind of a little close.
A little bit longer than their first game.
Yes. Yeah, the first game did not go well for the Jesters, but they're going to tie it up. We got 10:45 roughly on the clock. That's essentially a brand new game. That's
a lot of paintball time.
Yeah.
A lot of paintball time, especially for these two teams.
All right, rolling back out, you're going to see PMob versus Philly Corrupt. PMob having a really disastrous first point there. Quick deaths followed by a little bit of penalty action. Never a formula for success.
The refs have been very generous with the penalties.
That is the most polite way a player could ever say, wow, Bella.
They have been generous. They have been handing them out for free.
Yeah. Why isn't that nice?
Sometimes you don't even do anything and they still give you one.
That's so nice of them.
It's all right. It's hot. I would be as cranky, if not
There's
more
a
cranky.
Parting gift for you. There's a flag.
Parting gift. We got about 4 yesterday. We normally...
You know what? As a player, you should be allowed to keep the flag.
Right?
Wouldn't that at least like make you feel
like
a little better?
Favor.
Yeah, you have like a wall of them at home as like a trophy wall.
Oh, yeah. Maybe I'm going to try to do that. Next penalty I get.
Steal the flag. All right, Philly Corrupt's going to lose their first player. Good shooting by PMob. The can take one off the head.
Asking for a check.
Might be a bounce.
Head.
I think it's a bounce.
Yeah, he's good.
Yep.
Up as they just lose their home player. So it's a 5-on-3 breakout in favor of PMob. I do like, though, where Philly Corrupt is, though, on this 3-on-5. They have good spots to look across. I just don't like that can that much, but Miles does a pretty good job of playing that can as he moves into the snake. Definitely a better spot. They just got to stay alive here and kill some time. Try to catch some guys on the cross.
PMob still doubled up at home, a little bit conservative. As I say that, he's going to go ahead and move to that mini brick up the middle. So I don't think PMob is 100% on their location accuracy. So you got a PMob play at that mini that inside snake wedge. You spent a lot of time shooting at this Dorito, and there's nothing there.
So I love that bunker. I really do love it. But I feel now, Internet Warriors can correct me if I'm wrong.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Calling them out.
Here we go. It's kind of, you could get stuck there easily.
Yeah.
There's the beams. I have shorter legs. It's hard for me to get over the beams.
You're compact and efficient.
I am compact and efficient. Thanks, Matt. But I feel as if like you kind of get stuck. It's a good bunker, but yeah, I'm very indifferent to it. I like it and I don't like it. I just like PMob to piece this together a little bit.
I recommend you
give us some action.
Write a sternly worded letter to Jason Trojan about field layout.
Yes.
I'm sure he'll listen.
I'll hit up ChatGPT.
All right, Philly Corrupt, Mini Temple getting a check. He's clean. PMob probe in the middle from that tower, which doesn't see a lot of play. It's a risky place to be, too. Yeah. As I saw, I think that one bounced off his waist, though.
Was that his? No, that might have been a trade from the home, I believe. If not, I don't know who shot him. It might have been his own player.
All right, Miles Carter takes that moment to move up to the Snake Dorito, or Snake Rito, as the cool kids are calling it. Yeah, and he's going to pay for it with his life.
Unfortunate.
At the same time, his last teammate's going to take a walk too. PMob is going to walk this one in.
I love these slow buzzer walks when it's this hot, this early in the morning.
Yeah, that's true. I'm seeing a Darula still alive. I think that's a Kilbashian based on his height. Number 44. Excuse me, 47. There you go. That might have been Isaac Luke hitting the buzzer. Not entirely sure. I wish players wouldn't wear goggles so it would make me easier to give facial recognition,
make it
right?
easier, right?
So I'm just guessing.
Just stop wearing goggles.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
All right, thanks to Kinetic for sponsoring this program. Kinetic has fully custom jerseys. They do have a design department inside of their company that can help you out. All right. Well, I mean, what else do we expect? It's tied up 1-1. New Jersey Jesters, Wrecking Crew. Neither team should be able to dominate this match. They're both that good.
Yes, this is.
I see a high roller as a pod runner.
Oh yes, those are our little girls. They're running for Corrupt. Our coach actually plays for Corrupt.
That'll do it. All right, Wrecking Crew on your left, Jesters on your right. Looks like 4 alive now for Wrecking Crew. They lost their mini temp on the Dorito side.
But it is a 4-on-4, as Jesters did lose another body, and the ref running in.
Oh no, another body.
Another body for Jesters.
So 4-on-3 advantage for Crew.
4-on-3, but the home's getting a check right now.
Now he requested it, so there's no penalty there. All right, so 3-on-3. Boy, they are just trading blows here.
Yes.
So the remaining Crew players are kind of all in a line here up this diagonal snake beam. S2 inside wedge, the one that you don't like, and
I know, I don't like that one.
brick.
I don't like it. If you have long legs and you can hop that beam and you can, do all that. Little backfill for Stevie there. He identifies where the bodies are. Jesters player trying to wrap and at least peel one more off. It's going to be a hard cross to break.
Ooh, did he take one on the hopper? Nope.
Nope.
Very, very lucky there. Great
Little whack-a-mole.
Great quick reaction. When this point is over, I'm going to reference that because I think something interesting just happened with that quick snap survival of their middle player.
Good move here for Wrecking Crew getting up into the little snake Dorito. Trying to get a wrap on the center brick.
These center bricks are so dominating on this field. It's a huge kill if you can get them out of there. I think we just saw an attempt at a bounce shot.
Yes, I was just going to say that.
All right.
Great move for Wrecking Crew.
Parker blows up that snake Dorito. Now there's an attempt cross through. I don't think it's going to work. Nope, he is walking off. Great sequence of events there. They're going to finish this one out. All right, real quick, and this is just an interesting, I guess, human physiology thing. So in the middle of that point, we saw the middle brick player for New York Wrecking Crew get caught unaware. A stream came in on him, and he ducked out of it. I've seen this enough, and I guess I've done it maybe once in my career. I have come to the belief that we as players can actually hear the tone of a gun shooting at you versus the tone of a gun shooting away. And we're now wired to duck instinctively when the sound pattern of a gun shooting directly at you hits your ears. And remember, sound travels faster than the ball is traveling.
Yes.
So you're going to get that sound signature of a gun shooting directly at you. It's a little bit of a wild theory, but I've seen enough players not looking at a gun that starts shooting at them.
And hear it.
And they just duck out of the way. And my only explanation is it's an audio thing. Sorry for the distraction. Ricky Smith was just giving me some grief.
All right, so we have a 5-on-4 breakout as the home is getting checked for Philly Corrupt. Advantage PMob, and he's clean in the home for Philly Corrupt, which is definitely crucial as they did lose a body off the break.
PMob in a nice situation over here. They're now up to the Snake Dorito. They're in that inside wedge. Snake 1. Their Dorito side mini tumbles under a lot of pressure. It's unlikely he's going to be able to make it out to the Dorito corner anytime soon, although he's thinking about it.
A lot of teams utilizing these bounce shots. This little snake Dorito just told his back player to shoot the bounce shot.
I have yet to see a player killed off a bounce shot out here this weekend. However, I have seen players harassed into ducking in due to bounce shots.
Wait till about like 2 to 3 o'clock when these bunkers
soft.
are ready to
give you that
burst.
Tympanic drum.
Yes. But yeah, back to what you were saying. I also do feel like when you pop the top of a bunker, especially up there, you know, you kind of an internal clock of, you know, I've been up here for a little while.
This is bad. I can't keep doing this.
Yeah.
It feels like your neck being exposed to like if you're an animal in the wild.
Yes. Doing a little barrel cleaning here.
Yeah. You know, a lot of players just simply shoot through broken paint. So when I see a squeegee come out, it usually means it's real bad.
Oh yeah, shoot a PE gun. You could just throw a couple balls through your barrel. It'll clear itself.
I think we just revealed Bella's sponsorship.
Sorry. Sorry.
No.
Sorry to all
sorry.
the dye looks.
Say yes. There you go. All right, nice move out to the Dorito corner, then immediately up into the D2 for PMob. All right. Oh wow, big move up from D2 to D wedge for PMob. Corrupt responds by getting into the snake while losing a snake player.
Miles does do a little swan dive over the beam. There's just so many beams in your way. They were really generous with the beams.
They're speed bumps.
They are speed bumps. Miles, unaware. Here, unfortunately, Miles get clips out, but fortunately enough, they did get that wedge out, but it was just not enough. Philly Corrupt still playing very good. PMob is a very good team. They are putting it together very nicely.
They're an extremely good team, and for Corrupt to be even holding them at that is still. It doesn't feel like it. They're not going to, when they watch this broadcast, they're not going to be happy that I'm giving them a pat on bat for making PMob fight that hard. But PMob is so good. They should take some consolation in that.
I feel like definitely as you rise divisions, you should be proud of yourself when you go, you know, toe to toe with these top teams.
Yeah, and PMob's one of the heavyweights.
Yes. All right, back on the field, we have Wrecking Crew and Jesters. Wrecking Crew is going to be on your right, and Jesters are going to be on your left.
Jesters in those brown and black jerseys. You got Wrecking Crew in the gray, traditional gray and black. All right, Jesters up the middle.
Wrecking Crew makes a big bite into the snake off the break.
That was an ugly fill for Jesters. They got to the middle brick, but almost died doing it. We'll appreciate our web crew editing that out.
Bodies.
All right, good start for Jesters. They're up 5-on-3.
Definitely going to be a back and forth match.
All right, Jesters just slow rolling it. They're down by 1 point. There's about 8 on the clock.
Yes, with a lot of time, even if you're down by 1, you know, definitely be patient.
Oh, an attempt to get out of that one doesn't work. Jester's going to take the snake player from Wrecking Crew, giving them a big advantage in the situation. A home player looking a little bit desperate over here for Wrecking Crew. Oh, and at the same time, Jesters lose their middle brick. That's a big loss.
They're 4-on-2 right now, advantage of Jesters.
Right,
I love how Wrecking Crew player and the little Aztec and the Doritos is just taking so many guns right now, trying to stay alive.
At times, that's an actual important role, is to just absorb gunfire without dying. Now, he's doing it because they're down a bunch of bodies.
Yes.
But sometimes as a front player, your job is just get up there and have 3 or 4 guns on you and just be content with that. All right, I think we're going to see, we're going to see a move up to S2 by the Wrecking Crew Snake player. He's going to look cross. It's going to be a little bit in the open. He misses Obispo, making that bump to the wedge on the 50. Vesco's going to wrap, immediately take out that temple. Now a drop back by the last player left for Wrecking Crew. This is Alamo time, and that's how the Alamo ended also.
Yeah.
The defenders died. All right, Jester's going to tie it up 2-2, 6 minutes on the clock. This has been a great match. The last few points, we haven't seen any penalties. It was the first match we saw penalties, and that caused Jesters to lose their first match, the first point of this match.
And I'm surprised, because like I said, they're not holding back on their flags.
Shy. You think they're getting a bonus per flag?
I think that might have been in their contract this event.
That's the conspiracy theory.
Yes. I heard that there was some drama here this morning.
That word travels fast. There was at least a pushing, shoving incident. I don't think it was an actual swing to punch. Wes Buell of Nasty got himself a little suspension there. Hey, thanks for playing, but you're going to sit for a while.
Yeah, he's going to sit in the penalty box, watch his friends play.
Yeah. Do you remember when paintball had a penalty box?
Yes.
That was, trying to get out of that was brutal.
Yes.
Because the other team could see the clock. They knew when you had to leave it, and they just put a gun there, and you just...
Yeah.
Oh, man, brutal.
But I do love that they make you sit with the refs over here when you are suspended.
Yeah. Oh, do they really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
You can't stay in your pit.
And they take your gun. Yeah, no. You cannot stay in your pits. I think, I did see that break.
Good shooting by PMob. They catch the corrupt player going into the snake. That is a nice sideward crab shuffle by the PMob player into that mini brick.
That was impressive. I wonder if he practiced that. Nice move up into the snake wedge for PMob. Philly Corrupt does have this crucial body though on the 50 as PMob also occupies their 50 wedge. PMob's can getting a check. He's clean.
All right. Tyler Kelvey turning ahead, trying to communicate to his team. He's locked onto that snake Dorito, trying to stop PMob from pushing that side.
Kelly was doing a great job of that yesterday as well, really containing from that brick.
That brick is such a crucial bunker on this field. There's a reload. There's definitely a snapshot battle going on between Kelvey and the PMob Snake Dorito player. Check going on to the PMob.
And a minor.
Oof.
Exactly what Corrupt needed to happen there.
Yeah, it looks like he had a hit on the right side of his goggle. That, I believe,
and another minor.
Matt Derula.
And another minor.
Oh, for PMob, it's just falling apart real fast over here. I believe that might be the last PMob player going into the snake. Interesting choice as a last body defense, and now he's in the open, creeping. That is not a great plan, not a great choice. I believe that's also one of the Derulas. I'm not entirely sure what the game plan there was on that last. Maybe he didn't know the count that he was in a 4-on-1 situation.
Great point by Corrupt. That was a great point.
Good bounce back point. For PMob, they're going to allow Philly Corrupt to bring this back to 2-2. We're going to have about 6.5, give or take, on the clock when they hit the buzzer.
Both very close games.
Yeah, these are great matches. This is so far. These are great matches. You should be watching at home. Click, comment, subscribe. That's the thing I'm supposed to say. How am I doing?
It was good. A little bit more pizzazz on it.
Do I need to add jazz hands?
You might need to add jazz hands.
Jazz
if the
hands
camera goes back to you, you can tell them your best jazz hands.
Jazz hands incoming. Speaking of jazz hands, you can see Spica trying to teach a player how to do jazz hands at the BKI Pro Camp. That's just part of what
one of the better jazz handsers.
Yeah, that's just part of what you can learn at the BKI Pro Paintball Development Camp. Jazz hands.
Jazz hands. That's what I'm about to do to keep myself cool. Oh,
we are having a ref meeting, which means they are unhappy with something that's going on out there. I have not seen bonus balling really in this match, there's something they're unhappy about. Maybe it has to do with the 2 PMob back-to-back flags that took place within about 5 seconds.
So when I saw the second flag go up, now, like I said, correct me if I'm wrong if you're watching on the broadcast. The scoreboard is kind of in my way.
Never say that to the internet, Bella.
That's okay.
Never
No, the internet's fine.
All right, go on.
If you accept them, they'll be nice to you.
The internet is feral. Do not go close to the internet.
It is feral. You know what's so funny, though? Half the people aren't feral, though, when you see them in person.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It's a totally different deal
Totally
in person.
different deal.
All right, sorry, go on.
When the second flag went up, I know he threw it on the guy in the little snake, the Dorito temple. I did not see him pull a second body on the minor. And I could be wrong. I could be blind up here, but I only saw the one body come out.
So the best case scenario for what that is, maybe not best case scenario, best guess, is that one of the players that got pulled on the first penalty might have gotten a talking penalty. That would cause a minor flag to fly and only one body being pulled.
You are right. You know more than me.
No, it's just a guess. I've just that's the only logical thing when you see a flag and only one body gets pulled.
Yes. All right. Refs do their little handshake break. 3, 2, 1 refs.
Head ref Jason striding off with a purpose.
Striding off.
He is not happy.
He's scary. Sometimes he scares me.
You know what?
He is a very nice guy, though.
Yeah, I was about to say.
He is a very nice guy. His walk is powerful, though.
Yeah, he's got some swagger.
He does.
That head ref jersey's gone straight to his head.
It has. It definitely has. And he's got a little buzzer thing.
Yeah, he's got control.
He does have control.
He's got the digital
Give
control
a guy power.
module. All right, Wrecking Crew, Jesters all tied up here. Wrecking Crew on your left. Wrecking Crew 5 alive, no 4 alive. They're going to lose their mini wall attempt.
Jesters doing a great job of shooting that short shot between the home and that can.
Jesters 5 alive. They make their bump. Now they're doing a crawl up to that brick. That is risky.
And Jesters do get a minor.
Ugh. All right, they're going to lose 2 bodies, so 3 bodies left for Jesters against 4. This is Aiden Chase. Speaking of 4, Aiden Chaseman, number 4, up into the Snake Dorito here for Wrecking Crew. He's going to wrap, try to look cross, maybe at the home. Oh, a pack hit. Yeah, he's going to take that home on the pack. The refs haven't seen it yet. He's telling the refs it's his pack. There it is. So 2 bodies left alive for Jesters. Aiden Chaseman getting a check. Good communication on the snake side over here between Chaseman and his back player. Aiden's considering the bump. He second doubts himself on that one. He's going to pull back.
Yeah, Jesters do have this center wedge, I think, still. Yep, he's there. I just saw his little head. Not that his head is little, but.
Wow.
Oh, dear. They did shoot him on the backfill, and that is a minor.
Another penalty for Jesters.
Another penalty.
That should be it for the Jesters over there. They're going to lose this point.
Uh-oh, Steve walking over here. I wonder what he's unhappy with.
I mean, how many flags? They should be happy.
They should be
all
happy.
The flags are flying against his opponent.
Great point for Wrecking Crew. I believe, so if the last body was pulled on the minor, I think he might have been shot. I'm not sure, but in that case, they may be starting down a body. That might be what he's trying to figure out.
I think
or
if
that last body was pulled on that minor. I just don't even ask questions. I just go on the field, and however many bodies are there, that's how many there are.
All right, thank you to Paintball for Purpose. Paintball for Purpose is an organization started by Tammy Adamson, trying to help both players and veterans. If you're struggling with any issues, depression, please reach out.
They do have the prettiest bunkers on the field, I would say.
They do, and the refs are doing a good job cleaning them off, squeezing them between points.
Keeping those white bunkers clean. I love their little rainbow hearts, little splat hearts.
So you're going to steal a bunker? Is that what I'm hearing?
I might. Don't say it. We talked about this before. You weren't allowed to say that.
Oh, my bad. That's all right. 30-second delay. I'll ask for the truck to just edit that out.
Yes. So Philly Corrupt on your right, PMob on your left in the green.
There it is. All right, so Wrecking Crew's going to go up 3-2. 4 minutes left on the clock. Back to a tied-up game, 6.5 on the clock. PMob probably needs to just clean up some penalties here. All right, here we go. We are going to launch. Oh, right to the goggles for the PMob can and the home. PMob's going to lose 2 players immediately. Great shooting by Philly.
Yeah, 5-on-3 breakout in favor of Corrupt. The ref is getting up to check the home, I believe, and he is clean.
Yep, he's actually checking a pod. He suspected that he got hit in the pod and dropped it, so he checked the pod that was on the ground. That would have been a gross major, by the way, if you get caught dropping a pod with a hit on it. We got Sammy Lana for PMob up here in the Snake Dorito, number 65. Very good player. Maybe can salvage this situation.
As you say, that Philly Corrupt does make a great move into the little Dorito wedge over there. Or their snake side wedge, PMob's Dorito side wedge, whatever you want to call it.
Sammy Lana should set his gun up across field as a trap because they got a mini brick in the middle for Philly Corrupt that wants to get up to the center brick. There could be an easy kill here if he sets a trap for him. Unfortunately, PMob's going to lose their home player, leaving 2 alive. They've seen enough. They're going to towel out of that one.
Great point by Philly Corrupt. Sorry, I have this because the sun is directly on my...
You're complaining about your working conditions here?
I am. My working conditions are treacherous.
I've been trying to unite the webcast crew forever. It's just not working. I'm getting roadblocks at every turn.
This is wild. That sun is in the perfect spot to shine right on us.
All right, so I got to say the last few points between Philly Corrupt and PMob is defined by off-the-break shooting.
Yeah.
They
Philly
absolutely
Corrupt.
sniped out 2 of the PMob players.
That was Pat taking a knee at the home, shooting back up that center.
So well done, Philly Corrupt takes a small lead. Another really tight game with 4 minutes left on the clock. By the way, I like to talk about must-win. For Jesters, if they lose this point, there's only going to be a couple minutes on the clock to try to win 2 points.
Jesters did just lose a body and another body, so 5-on-3 breakout here for Wrecking Crew. Kind of exactly, hopefully, what they needed to get a little bit more of a spread here, make it not so close.
All right, not what they needed for Jesters. Wrecking Crew, if they're understanding the situation, could go into slowdown mode and just kill a bunch of clock.
Wrecking Crew is still doubled up at the home. Jesters do have a body in this lovely, lovely, lovely center wedge, or center brick.
All right, Jesters calmly trying to salvage the situation. They're just locking up lanes. They're trying to prevent any moves from Wrecking Crew, but frankly, Wrecking Crew doesn't... They could theoretically kill another 3 minutes on the clock. That's a lot to ask, but it's possible.
Definitely a lot to ask, but, you know, it's possible.
This is not going to be a high-scoring match. These teams are too good to make sloppy mistakes and end games quick. I believe that might be Charles Lessig in the middle there for Jesters, trying to hold down that Snake Dorito side. Move by Jesters up into Dorito 2. Now into Snake.
Did making clean. Rep going in to check out Wrecking Crew Snake player.
Jesters don't have to be crazy aggressive, but they have to push and do something here to win. Clock is ticking away. We're at 2:25 now. This is now a must-win for Jesters. If they lose this point, coming back 2 points in about 2 minutes is impossible. Okay, impossible's too much to say.
With the way that these refs have been so generous with their penalties, it can be possible.
Yeah. Again, generous. They're very giving. They're a very giving ref crew.
They are very giving. Very kind.
Like, this is from me to you, and it's very special. It's my favorite red flag, and I think you should have it.
If you think about it, they give you their own red flag.
It's true.
It's like a gift.
They've taken a piece of themselves that they
have.
carry all day. All right, Jesters need to show some more urgency.
Yes, yes.
Snake players should not be still back at Snake 1 at this point.
I was just going to say it, but I'm happy you did so that they can't get mad at me for saying that. Yeah, and he's thinking about it. There he goes. It's hot. We got to cut him a break.
Yeah, true. I don't know if his coach will cut him a break.
No.
All right, he gets to S2. That's something, but we're now at a minute 20. Yeah, Wrecking Crew's calling out the time. They definitely know the situation now. They know that Jesters have to start making things happen. Probably the most important gun on the field right now for Wrecking Crew is that inside wedge looking diagonal cross. He's the best position to stop any run-throughs, any movement, even up this snake line.
Yeah, Jesters are kind of playing like they are up bodies and up points and, you know, just slowing it down. I would definitely love to see the snake player kind of get down and wrap and start playing a little bit for himself, try to get himself up the field, picking off some packs.
Jester player here in the snake, and I'm sorry if I'm picking on you, but there's no incoming fire, and he's being way too slow to move up.
As you said it.
I got him killed.
Commentator curse.
Yeah, that's on me.
It's all right. You know what? If he did it maybe about like 15 seconds earlier, he probably could have done it clean and got a nice wrap shot on the home in the pack. And Wrecking Crew is just going to pick them all off.
Yeah, that's going to be it. Oh, oof.
Oof.
Not intentional, just accidental. All right, and there's going to be 20 seconds left on the clock. That was interesting. Wrecking Crew was racing to hit the buzzer as if they want another point. He didn't get to the buzzer and then slow down to try to let the, you get under 10 seconds, they're not going to run the next point.
Well, yeah, in prelims, you care about your spread. Once you get into semis and, finals and stuff, you only win by one. You only need to win by one. Because if you win, you're moving on. It don't matter. But Wrecking Crew, they're good enough to kind of just be playing for seeding, not playing to get into Sunday, you know.
If they win this match, they're locked into Sunday. It is just a seeding point. All right, PMob. Frustrating thing as a coach when you watch your guys get shot in the breakout, it wasn't that they were taking crazy runs. It wasn't like PMob was trying to fling themselves to super long bunkers. They were losing players from home and just going to this can. So that's a tough adjustment for a coach. I guess switch to more up the middle. That's a little bit safer run out on this field.
Yes, or counteract it with having, some guns shooting back to stop, like taking a knee at the box there, shooting the lane.
Just disrupt gunners.
Disrupt it.
All right, well, light gunners for Philly. They only have one player at home. We started with 3 for PMob at home.
And Philly Corrupt, their snake player, did finally get in there. I know he's been shot a couple times trying to do it, but he stayed committed, tried it again, and it's worked for him this point.
And you know what? PMob had 3 guns up. It shouldn't have worked. He shouldn't have been able to get in there.
He's small and fast.
He's small and fast.
He is small and fast.
He's compact and efficient, Bella.
Compact and efficient.
Yes.
I love it.
All right. Small, compact, efficient Michael Janiak is up into the Snake Dorito. Still 5 alive for Corrupt. I think 5 alive for both teams at this point. PMob down by a point, about 4.5 left on the clock. In this score, in this time situation, PMob shouldn't feel any panic yet. Even if they lose this point, it's still attainable to bring it back.
Miles making a great bump into the little snake mini wedge here. That was Philly Corrupt. I would just play it super slow.
Uh-oh. Janiak getting a check. Called clean.
Yep, right there. That should have taught him a little lesson. Don't over-battle that. Keep your body alive. He's got some strong guns behind him. They're locked in. I would just wait. Let the time burn.
Bella has just said there's no sloppy deaths. There's just learning lessons.
They're just learning lessons.
All right,
yes.
There's a learning lesson walking off the field right now for PMob from that mini brick.
There is a learning lesson. I'm sorry. That is a good kill for Corrupt, not so much for PMob losing that body. The center presence is really important on this field.
Well, we're now down at 3.5. Now we're getting into time clock territory. And if I'm Noel Tran for PMob, I'm going to start thinking about tallying it out if we lose 1 or even 2 more bodies. It's just, you're going to need time to stage a comeback.
Yes. I do love, Philly Corrupt, is still 5 alive, which is, this far into the match, especially even against PMob. They are still 5 alive. They do have a body advantage, and I would say positional advantage as well. PMob's player, he's clean, was getting a check in the little Dorito temple.
So I haven't heard story time yet from Philly Corrupt, but I really should be hearing that soon.
Yeah, I should be hearing that.
Whoa, nice head fake dodge by the snake player for Philly Corrupt. Might be another one of those situations where he heard the ball coming at him.
Oh, yes.
Well, there is a gun battle here. He's going to make that move up to the snake wedge. Going to have to play the outside of it. Michael Janiak, now he's going to drop, look for a cross shot. I like this. Now I think that can's going to block the view. Ooh, playing out in open. Yeah, you look at the ref, you're basically saying to the ref, I just got shot. That's what Michael did.
He did not get the kill, unfortunately. No. But Miles is right behind him, continuing to keep the dominance up here on their snake side.
Okay, so the clock situation has changed once again. We're under 2 minutes. Now, if you're PMob's coach, Noel Tran, I think you have to let it ride. Because if you towel out now and you're down by 2 points, 2 points in under 2 minutes is a lot to ask. I think you have to let it ride. You have to win this point if you're PMob.
Yes, definitely, and you do hope that your players are kind of turning their heads and looking up at this big clock that we do have on the net.
Which you don't have at every field. It's kind of a luxury to have a big clock on the sideline to know what the time situation is. Move by PMob up into the D3. They know the clock situation. They know they have to make something happen here. There's a possibility of a wrap here by the PMob player and taking out that brick, number 20 in the middle.
We're almost down to a minute here as it is a 4-on-4. Little battle here, little standoff, I would say.
Here we are, 60 seconds.
Both teams in great positions to, lock it up and to push. As I say that, PMob just did lose their body coming out of that snake Dorito.
The old, I shot at you, so I'm going to yell, get out move doesn't pay off for Philly Corrupt. Here's a move up to the middle brick by PMob. Oh, I think, yep. Dorito 3 is going to take a hit. PMob trades a body in the middle. Same time, Corrupt loses their Dorito. There's still a chance for PMob. We're down to 20 seconds.
PMob lost 2, and Philly Corrupt lost 2. That was a good little.
I think we're looking at home player for Philly Corrupt. I'm not sure there's anything else for Philly Corrupt. PMob has to fly.
15 seconds.
They have to fly.
Is this a one-on-one?
Yes, I believe it is.
That is actually our coach.
5 seconds left.
Pat.
4.
Let's go, Pat.
That's not going to work. I appreciate the attempt.
Nice job.
No, that is a trade.
Nice job, Pat.
Wow, what an ending to that match. Yeah. What an amazing ending to that match. Wow. These are, man, Bella, you got here for exactly the right match to commentate.
I know. I was excited for this one. Awesome, awesome, awesome job to Corrupt and to PMob as well.
So for Philly Corrupt, they're going to go up to 2-1 on the weekend, putting them in good position for the playoffs. PMob is going to drop to 2-1. Certainly, weekend's not over.
Weekend is definitely not over, but Philly Corrupt definitely did their homework last night.
That is a big win for them. Like I said, coming into this event, let's see if I can pull it up. PMob is 11th overall, and Philly Corrupt is 22nd overall. So that's a big win for Philly Corrupt.
Back to Wrecking Crew Jesters. They definitely had a nice long break. Jesters did lose a body off the break trying to get into that snake.
Jesters also went to kind of the snake beam, connecting that middle brick to the inside wedge, and then dropped and crawled backwards. Not entirely sure what that play was. All right, still doubled up at home for Crew. That's it. Just an academic point that goes nowhere. All right, Wrecking Crew is going to go up to 3-0 on the weekend. Jersey's at 2-1. Still in good position to make it to the playoffs. Wow. All right, that was great stuff.
That was great stuff.
Jazz hand time?
Jazz hands.
All right, thank you, Bella.
You're welcome.
Who's your first match today?
Baltimore Nevermores.
All right, Nevermores. Good luck.
Thank you.
You guys are 1-1 on the weekend?
No, 2-0.
2-0?
Yeah, don't.
Jazz hands. 2-0.
Disrespect me.
All right,
Come
sorry.
on, Matt.
All right, hey, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I enjoyed the hell out of this one.
Oh yeah, this is
we're going to
awesome.
take a little break. We'll come back, and please stick around because you get to watch Bella playing Nevermores later on today.
Yes.
Thank you for being here with us.